Hi, Internet. So I just had a thought and it really got to me, and I just felt like I needed to get on here with my camera and just kind of like spew out my thoughts. I've actually never done a vlog before, but I just felt really compelled to speak about this. So I have been in the process of transitioning my career into something different. So I've been talking to a lot of different people, doing a lot of informational interviews, and a lot of times I hear the word millennial. So I'm a millennial. I was born in '88. I'm a straight up 90s kid, yo. Like, I'm a millennial. I can't deny it. But when they talk about millennial, they talk about it like, well, we've had problems with millennials in the past. Or, well, the millennial mindset is blah, blah, blah. They're not reliable. And I'm like, wait, what the, what the heck? Are you saying I'm unreliable? You don't know me. I'm not. I'm very reliable. So every time it would come up, it would start to I would get this little ding in my head, this little alarm, like, ugh, why are you saying that? Like, ugh, stop saying that. Like, it's starting to be a dirty word, right? Like millennial, it's just got this super negative vibe to it. I don't know if you felt that or if it's just me, but there's been multiple occasions, especially like recently, where I'm just like, millennial is just kind of like, I don't know what happened, but like all of a sudden this is like a dirty word. So whenever somebody calls me a millennial or brings up the word millennial, I get really annoyed and just a little bit angry. And I'm trying to figure out, like, why do people think that millennials are lazy and not hardworking? I mean, I have to chalk it up to it just being like one experience with one person who wasn't really great and wasn't really reliable, so it must be a millennial thing, right? But I don't think that that can be true of an entire generation, and I certainly don't feel that it's true about myself, and I know a lot of people in my generation who absolutely do not fit that description. So why do so many people think that millennials are lazy and they're just like la-di-da in their own world, just sort of like sitting back waiting for something awesome to happen to them because they're so cool and they deserve it, right? Like the world owes them a living. And I just don't understand where this idea is coming from about an entire generation of people. So I started to think about it a little bit more, and I kind of came to the realization that, like, okay, it can't be all of us. And then I started thinking a little bit more, and I realized it's not our fault that we're getting this bad rep, right? Like, it's their fault. What do I mean by that? I mean that our childhood, like how we grew up, was so different from our parents. We grew up with the internet. It's the most amazing and powerful tool. We have it in our pockets now with our phones, but like we grew up for like a big percentage of our life with the internet. Anytime we have a question, we can just Google it. We can look at Wikipedia. Anytime we want to speak to somebody about one of our favorite subjects, like a band or a TV show, or we want to geek out about something, like the internet is there for us and available. So I feel like our worldview is so much more open because of the way that we grew up, right? Like we grew up with the world at our fingertips. If you wanted to speak to somebody anywhere in the world, you could do it over the internet. If you wanted to talk about some obscure like thing that you love, you could do it on the internet. And it just sort of like opened up so many doors for us, like in our minds, right, about what was possible for our future. And you see it especially with like the digital nomad like phenomenon, right? Like we don't even need a traditional office to make a living. We can live anywhere in the world as long as we have a laptop and an internet connection. So we're making a lot of changes in the world, and we're making them really fast. I mean, the world is fast-paced as it is, but like we are making so many changes now that are so fast, and like change is scary, right? Like change, when you change the way that something's been done for a million years, like that's scary. And like fear is a really big motivator to like resist, to put up the walls and to resist. So I'm not saying that we need to stop making changes, but at the same time, how can we be changing the world by just leaning back and saying, let opportunity come to me, right? Like, it's not possible. So we really aren't lazy. We're really not hardworking, right? Like, maybe we just work in a different way. Like, our mindset is different, right? Like, what do they say? They say, like, work smarter, not work harder. Our mindset is to work smarter, to not work harder. So that like directly like clashes with like other generations who think that you just have to like get your nose to the pavement and grind, which has its place. But like I said, our mindset is to just do it smarter. And like I said, here is a really good motivator to resist. So maybe that bad rap that we're getting is just from the resistance, right? The resistance to change. So I came out to the other side of this thought like feeling really actually kind of positive and feeling really hopeful about all the things that millennials are doing in this world. And I don't know, maybe the next time that somebody says a millennial, I might say like, well, actually, I know some really cool millennials that did X, Y, and Z and blah, 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 and this and that. So it's not everybody. Maybe we can start changing some minds. I don't know. I feel like we need to like reclaim the word back, right? Like we need to be like, give me back my name. Give me back millennial. You don't get to decide what millennial is. Only I get to decide what millennial is. So I don't know. I came out on the other side feeling really good about it. If you've had this experience before, I know I can't be the only one who feels this way. If you've had this experience, like, please let me know in the comments, like, if you feel, like, super proud to be a millennial, or if you've gotten kind of that same, like, negative vibe from other people. Let me know in the comments. If you agree, give it a big thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel. This is my first vlog, and I feel, like, really good about getting this out. So, that's it for me. I'm out. All right, bye.